everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Milwaukee Beer Reviews Hop Takes. As always, I'm Josh.
I'm Ross.
And we are gathered here today to celebrate love in the best way possible from Founders Brewing Company. And as a little special Valentine's treat this year, they've decided to release what did we decide on? This is the fifth variant.
Fifth variant outside of the base
Of their Kentucky Breakfast Stout, better known as KBS. So this one's a little bit unique, as all of the variants have been in some way, shape, or form. So they just released this within the last few weeks here. This is the chocolate cherry version of Kentucky Breakfast Stout. Now, if you're not familiar with KBS, I'd be surprised if you're watching this channel and you're not familiar with KBS, but if you're not, it is essentially an imperial stout brewed with coffee, aged in bourbon barrels, one of the most famous ones, and one of the ones that was really hard to find for a while. It is a year-round beer now. They produce quite a bit of KBS, but these variants have been coming out, I don't know, every 6 months or so. And it's been a weird timing on it, but they just re-released the Mackinac Fudge not too long ago, and now this is another brand new one that they're putting out. So neither of us have tried this, and we're both KBS fans. So,
did you say the ABV? Maybe I missed it. It's 11.6.
11.6, yeah. And they say it's their bourbon barrel aged imperial stout. This shows off its more romantic side with KBS chocolate cherry. The rich sweetness of chocolate and slight coffee bitterness blend perfectly with the brightness of cherry juice to bring you an alluring sensory experience perfect for cozying up with your sweetie. So, Ross, you get to be my sweetie tonight.
I feel honored. Nothing's more romantic than a high ABV, thick, heavy beer, to cuddle up with someone with. That to me just sounds very romantic.
It won't be the first time, and it won't be the last time for us. So, I've got one of my fancy Three Sheeps tulip glasses here.
Hey, me too.
Nice.
So.
The Wolf. All right, let's pour this thing out. I'm guessing it's going to look like KBS always does, nice and dark. Oh, yeah.
Got that tan head that you always see with KBS.
Yep. Looks pretty. A lot of carbonation bubbles in that, actually. I think as I've seen more variants of KBS come out fresh, they seem to be a little bit more carbonated than I'm used to with KBS, which not necessarily a bad thing, but heads dissipating fairly quickly, but big bubbles there in the head for me. Not a smooth head. It's very bubbly. To the nose we go. Gotta sniff it.
So definitely getting that bitterness from the coffee that's still there, which is very promising KBS as always. But there's also the chocolate bitterness coming out as well. I think it's both of them kind of there.
I mostly get coffee on the nose with like a little bit of tartness. I'm guessing that's the cherry juice. They didn't age this, at least based on the description on the bottle. It sounds like they used cherry juice to get that cherry note in here.
Yeah.
A little chocolate too. Yeah, I think you're right.
I'm getting the coffee and the chocolate. I'm not really getting that tartness that you're talking about.
It's there, but I'm hunting for it. If I didn't know that it was in there, I think I would struggle to pinpoint it. It's not a heavy cherry or tart note on the nose, but yeah, chocolatey coffee I think is the heaviest note on the nose. Yeah. Smells good though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's give this thing a go. Cheers. Ooh.
that cherry comes up pretty nicely in there. It's definitely there. Um, and it's I mean, it's hard to say because it's there, but it's also subtle, and it's nice because it provides a nice like sweetness on the back end with the bitterness of a coffee and or sorry, with a chocolate. It provides just enough sweetness to kind of really smooth this one out quite a bit.
The mouthfeel on this is probably medium. There's definitely some viscosity to it, but not syrupy. It's not like a syrupy, super high viscosity beer.
Yeah.
Very drinkable. Um, as far as what I'm getting on the palate, it starts with chocolate, actually. Like that's the first hit you get is like a fudgy chocolate note, similar to the Mackinac fudge.
Yep. That's
Like
exactly what I was thinking.
it's a good chocolate note. Then I get the coffee. The coffee kind of kicks in after that, but it's a subdued coffee. It's not heavy coffee. It's not like espresso. It's nothing like that. But you can tell that there's coffee there. And then there's a little bit of tartness from the cherries that kind of cleans up the back of it. Um, what I get that's lingering on the palate is the chocolate characters from the beer. That's mostly what lingers on it for me. I'm not getting much bourbon.
No, no, it's hidden. It's hidden. I'll say I'm getting more sweetness from the cherry than I am tartness personally. Um,
Yeah.
that chocolate note up front, they must do something real good with their chocolate. There's not many beers. Like chocolate's a really hit or miss flavor for me with beer. I don't know why. It can come off too bitter. It can come off chalky at times. Um, between this and the Mackinac fudge, they do the chocolate right in these. It's like just enough bitterness with a slight sweetness to it. But to me, that cherry really is it's the star of the show for me because of what it does at the back end of the beer. To your point, you're getting the tartness, I'm getting the sweetness, but it just mellows it out. It takes that bitterness and cuts right through it, provides a nice clean finish.
Yeah. It's good. I'm getting more cherry on this than I was getting out of Milwaukee Brewing Company's last iteration of Cherry Bounce they released,
Absolutely.
which is a low
Absolutely.
bar. Which is a low bar. Which, speaking of that, I'm very excited for Eagle Park to be releasing that again this year because that is going to be happening. Very
Yeah, I
exciting.
feel like you took a big right turn to get that stick in there that you wanted to bring up, but
It's a big right turn. I don't know why I went there, but this is good. I'm a fan of this. I think
yeah.
very similar to a lot of the variants that have come out. The bourbon seems to have died off in
Mhm.
KBS a bit. Now, I have not had a recent release of the base KBS, and maybe we should. Maybe we should do that on the channel to see kind of where that's at. I think the last one I had was like 2019 or something like
I have
that.
so many 2019 still laying around. Like I think you can still buy them on shelves. And for whatever
Probably.
reason, that year, just there's tons of them.
Now it could be our palates maturing
Yeah.
too, but I do think that the bourbon plays second fiddle. I mean,
Yep.
we didn't even talk about it on the nose either, right?
No.
So, um, if you just told me this was an imperial stout with chocolate, I don't think I'd even argue with you about what I was drinking. The fact that this is bourbon barrel aged is great. I love it, but it's not really there. It doesn't even have to be. That doesn't mean this is a bad beer, though. This is actually really, really good, and I'm really, really enjoying this. Um,
So
I think. Go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if I'm gonna put this in Untappd, and I have to rate this beer, I'm probably putting this at a 3.75. And the reason I'm putting it at a 3.75, I think it's actually a 4 quality beer, like the beer itself, but I'm giving it a quarter knock because it's a barrel-aged beer that just doesn't have really much barrel character or even spirit character to it at all. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a little nick. But this is a good chocolate stout, and it's got a little tartness from the cherry or a little bit of that sweetness from the cherry. It's a good beer. Cuddle up with your sweetie and have this. I am.
I'm actually gonna give it a 4. Partially because I came into this with kind of low expectations, to be quite honest with you. But other than the Mackinac fudge, I've not been a big fan of the variants that have come out of KBS. I've actually been pretty disappointed. I think that cinnamon vanilla one we were really excited for, and that was That was not good. The hazelnut and the espresso they're what they are. I mean, those flavors are good, but they're not great flavors, in my opinion, for beer and everything. So I kind of came in just like, I don't know what this is going to be like. I hope they get it right. I think they nailed it. I really do. I think the coffee's still there, so you still get the classic traditional KBS
Yep.
minus some of that bourbon. Then you get the really good chocolate that Founder seems to do with a good cherry on the back end. I think they absolutely nailed this one. I think this is exactly what I was kind of hoping for. I'll give it a real solid 4.
It's good. It's good. Where would you rank this with all the other variants? We should probably finish with that.
It would be second behind Mackinac Fudge, and
Okay.
it's close to it actually for me.
I'm right with you. I still think Mackinac Fudge takes the cake. But this is a close second behind
Yep.
that for me from the variants. I do think at some point we should probably readdress the variants on the channel. I still have one of every single one of those. Maybe we should do a video with the variants again and see what they're like. Like, I don't know. I would assume Founders is going to keep releasing them, so we'll never be able to keep up. So maybe that was a stupid idea that I'm talking about actively on this what's supposed to be short video. But my brain is going. So all right, well, good stuff. Hey, Founders, well done. Nice little addition here to the KBS family. I'm enjoying it. I'll have another one of these on Valentine's Day, no problem. I might actually pick up another 4-pack of this just because this is
I would do the same. Yeah.
it's a good release here. So, thanks for watching. If you've had this, let us know in the comments. If you've tried this one, give us your thoughts. Where would you rate it? Would love to hear what the community is thinking about this new KBS release. You can find us on the rest of our social media channels. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. We are on
Untappd.
Thank you. We are also here on YouTube. So like, comment, and subscribe so you get all of our notifications of this amazing content that we're putting out for all of you. Appreciate you watching, and we will see all of you in the next episode.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.